Peter.
Well, former California Governor Gray Davis knows firsthand what it's like to run a cash-strapped state.
And he thinks that the first step to fixing our economy is to pass Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid's jobs bill. Gray Davis joining us now. Governor, tell me what you like in this bill, because there are people who say, why are we spending even more money? What happened to the stimulus? Wasn't that supposed to be the thing that would create the jobs?
Well, I think the stimulus did create jobs, but it created most of those jobs in the public sector, infrastructure, and then saving a lot of jobs that would have been lost. Teachers, firefighters, police officers. That's a good thing. But I think people want to see more action, if you will, in the private sector. And Senator Reid's proposal, as I understand it, will eliminate the payroll tax if you hire someone who's been out of work for 60 days. And then if he's employed for at least a year, there's an additional tax credit. So that's money that goes directly to the bottom line of employers who are contemplating whether or not they can afford to hire.
Well, I'm all for eliminating payroll tax. So are a lot of small businesses, Governor. But the public is wary. They're wary because they saw how much misinformation there was on how many jobs were created, and to talk about hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases to create one job in the government just doesn't seem to be worth it. Taking all that money from the private sector and putting it in the hands of the public sector doesn't seem to work.
Well, let's keep this in perspective, David. The stimulus package was well over $700 billion, and now we're talking about $15 billion for the bill before Senator Reid, and it's designed entirely for the private sector. So we should be able to keep track of the jobs, at least the jobs created for a year, because the companies are only entitled to the tax credit if the person is employed for 12 consecutive months.
Governor, what do you think about the idea of simply just cutting the payroll tax? Because then people would take that money, put it to work, and really create a bigger and stronger economy. There's so many people out there who are wondering, when the government creates jobs, isn't it based on a faulty or at least somewhat cracked foundation of a weak economy? We need to see the economy come back before those jobs are actually real, and before those jobs are actually to create things that people can afford to buy.
I prefer the approach that Senator Reid and I think President Obama now support, which is we want to help you if you're actually going to create a job. It's important to us to get people back to work. When they get back to work, they pay taxes. They feel good about the fact that they can support their family, and they have the opportunity to be consumers. When they're not working, they're absorbing taxes, unemployment insurance, additional Medicare health expenditures. So it's a total 180 degrees flip. So I like giving the money when you know you're actually producing a job.
Governor, when you think of all the headaches, would you ever want to be governor again?
No.
No.
Occasionally I'm tempted, and my wife said, forget about it.
Listen to your wife. Governor Gray Davis, great to see you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, Governor.
My pleasure.
Well, not much conviction on